How to calculate the radius of this circle? Normally, when you have line segments that are tangent to the circle, it is always interesting to draw radii of the circle that goes to the points of tangency. Because when doing so, these radii will be perpendicular to the segments that are tangent, and note that if we draw this segment here we will form these two right triangles that have the hypotenuse in common and have two legs with both measuring. And using the Pythagorean theorem we can conclude that these other legs must also be equal. With this we conclude that this triangle is congruent to this triangle, and one of the consequences of this congruence is that this angle here is equal to this angle here, okay? Now let's draw this radius and this other segment from here to form these two right triangles, and note that since it is an isosceles trapezoid, then this entire angle here has to be equal to this entire angle from here, and since this segment from here divides this entire angle into two equal angles, the same thing will happen with this segment from here, and, therefore, each of these angles here has to be equal to these angles from here. Now observe these two triangles. Both are right triangles with this angle equal to this angle. So the red triangle and the blue triangle are similar. But note that the opposite side of this angle from here is this leg that measures, and the opposite side to this angle from here is the same segment that measures r. So we conclude that in fact these two triangles are congruent. This means that this leg from here is equal to this leg from here. So since this whole side here measures 9 and this piece is equal to this piece, then this little piece from here will measure half of 9, which is equal to 4.5. We can use the same reasoning in this lower part to conclude that here it is worth 8, here it is worth 8. Now note that if we call these angles here alpha and beta, then by adding all these four angles here we will get 180 degrees. Dividing this equation here by 2 we get that alpha plus beta is equal to 90. So look at the sum of the angles of this triangle here. It must be equal to 180. Since here it is already worth 90, then this angle plus this angle must be 90. But we know that alpha plus beta is equal to 90. So this angle here is equal to beta, and with the same reasoning we conclude that this angle here measures alpha. So note that these two triangles have the same internal angles. So they are similar, and since they are similar we have that this leg adjacent to the angle alpha of the blue triangle divided by this leg here adjacent to the angle alpha of the red triangle, that is, r divided by 8, must be equal to this leg here adjacent to the beta of the blue triangle divided by this leg here adjacent to the beta angle of the red triangle. That is, r over 8 is equal to 4.5 divided by r. Multiplying the crossed here we obtain that r2 is equal to 36, and therefore our radius is equal to 6.